Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the big episode 50 of Untold Evidence. The year 2014. Naval Airspace Station Oceana, Virginia Beach. 2 FA-18F Super Hornets enter the warning area W72, a restricted training airspace 10 miles offshore. The two jets are 100 feet apart. They cross the entry threshold at the same altitude, the same heading, the same second. One of the pilots looks up, and what he sees hovering motionless against a 30-knot wind is a dark grey cube. Inside, a clear sphere, fixed at the entry point, not moving. Both jets then take evasive action. They terminate the mission and they return to base. The squadron files a safety report. There is no acknowledgement, there is no follow-up. There is no mechanism designed to receive what they just witnessed. This is episode 50 of Untold Evidence, and tonight we tell the story of the pilot who finally broke their silence. Ryan Graves is not a fringe figure. He joined the United States Navy in 2009 after graduating from Worcester Polytechnic Institute in Massachusetts with a Bachelor of Science in Mechanical and Aerospace Engineering. He served roughly a decade in active service, including deployment in Operation Enduring Freedom and Operation Inherent Resolve. His squadron was VFA 11, the Red Rippers. Commissioned in 1927, the oldest continuously active fighter squadron in the United States Navy. He flew an FA-18F Super Hornet, the most advanced multi-role fighter within the fleet. In 2014, the Red Ripper received a major upgrade to their own on-board radar systems. According to Graves' sworn testimony in the House Oversight Committee in July 2023, the moment the upgrade was complete, his squadron began detecting unidentified objects in their training aerospace. At first, the contacts were dismissed as software glitches. Then the infrared sensors, a completely separate detective system, began corroborating the radar tracks. The objects were physical. They were there, and in Graves' own words, they were there every time the squadron flew. The sightings became part of a daily flight brief. Pilots stopped calling them anomalous. They became, quote, an open secret among aircrew. Now, what Graves' testimony did in July 2023 was move that open secret from the squadron mess to the congressional record. He was the first active duty trained military aviator in modern American history to publicly testify on the record that UAP sightings inside US restricted military airspace were routine, not rare. His testimony also did something more specific. It connected directly to the 2004 Tic Tac incident, the encounter off the coast of San Diego in which Commander David Fravor and his radar intercept officer pursued a white, oblong, wingless object that performed maneuvers no known aircraft could match. Fravor testified at the same July 2023 hearing. The Tic Tac and the dark grey cube in clear Sophia were a decade apart and on opposite coasts. The geometry was different. The manoeuvre profiles were different. But what the two encounters had in common was the United States Navy's most advanced sensors in operational aerospace recorded objects that the Navy could not identify, could not match to any catalogue platform, and could not pursue. Graves' framing, and this is what made his testimony different from a sensational sighting story, was structural. He did not testify primarily about what the objects were. He testified about what the reporting system was not. The Navy had no formal mechanism to investigate. The squadron safety report disappeared. The pilots who saw the most strange things were the ones least likely to report them again. So here's where the story stops being about UFOs and starts being about the systems. After founding Americans for Safe Aerospace in 2023, a FO1C3 non-profit run by military pilots, Graves began collecting reports from other pilots. Within 2 years, more than 1,000 military and commercial pilots had reached out to share their own UAP encounters. Almost none of them had a way to file an official report. The Federal Aviation Administration published guidance on UAP encounters in 2024. It said that the pilot should report sightings to civilian organisations, not to the FAA itself, not to the military, and not to any office with a verified data pipeline. To a civilian organisation, meaning in practice voluntary research groups with no enforcement powers and no domain awareness function. Now on the military side, Graves testified that the situation is structurally worse. UAP encounters tend to fall above standard reporting classification. Pilots who file safety reports often see them disappear into a system with no acknowledgement and no learning mechanism. There is no domain awareness gap being closed. There is no pattern analysis being done at scale. Now for commercial pilots, the situation adds a third layer. Many fear professional retaliation, cease and desist letters from employers, threats to medical flight status. The career incentive structure tells a pilot who has just witnessed something inexplicable to keep quiet, fly the plane and file nothing. The result, according to Graves' testimony, is the UAP encounters in the US and international airspace are massively underreported. Whatever the phenomenon is, the data set we have is just a fraction of the data set that actually exists. Now the counter-narrative, which we always have. The Pentagon's All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, we speak about it a lot, the AARO, has stated repeatedly that it has not found credible evidence of extraterrestrial origin, off-world technology, or violations of known physics. The AARO has reviewed many reported cases, including some Graves himself cited, and concluded they are likely explained by Starlink satellite reflections, weather phenomena, balloons, and conventional aircraft seen under unusual conditions. On the methodology question, skeptics point out that Graves' strongest cases still depend on witness testimony and sensor reports that are not publicly auditable. Trained observer or not, the evidence he described remains for the public a description rather than a record. There is also the political economy question. America for Safe Aerospace has grown into the largest UAP advocacy organisation in the world. Its existence creates an institutional incentive to keep the phenomena contested. This is not a charge of dishonesty against Graves, it is a structural observation about the advocacy organisation of any kind. To his credit, Graves is willing to publicly reject material he considers weak. In 2023, openly criticised the Mexican congressional presentation of alleged extraterrestrial bodies. He has been clear that his concern is aerospace safety and reporting infrastructure, not aliens. So that is Ryan Graves, a trained military aviator who flew the Navy's most advanced fighter for nearly a decade, encountered something he could not explain in operational airspace. He watched the reporting systems fail to handle it and chose at significant career risk to make the failure public. Now you can decide for yourself whether what he saw was extraterrestrial, foreign adversary technology, classified domestic research, or sensor artifact. But the system failure he described is documented on the record in a sworn congressional testimony, and as of now, it's not been seriously contested. If this episode's been fun and it's been useful, please hit the like and subscribe button. Any comments or questions, get them in down below and let's talk about this phenomena amongst ourselves. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in episode 51.